What's up, everybody? Nonpon here, and today we're making the tier list. I don't do this type of thing very often, especially for green skills, because I think a lot of people generally agree that green skills are pretty good. Not all of them, but the majority of them are pretty dang good, and they're also very simple. I think that's the best thing about them is that they just always work. No wit check, no stamina depletion, just good, solid green skills that will never betray you. One of my favorite things I say nowadays is 80 skill points, 40 speed. And the thing is that like if you use yellow skills, which is fine, of course you want to use yellow skills, they have to go through a wit check. And if your wit is at least 300, they will activate 70% of the time, which is still pretty good odds. But green skills activate 100% of the times when they work. Sorry, I shouldn't even say that. There actually is a few that don't do that, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, the root of this video is making a tier list of the green skills, letting you know my honest opinions, and not just based off what they do, because this would be a very short video. This is going to be based off of where they come from, because I think green skills are important to have on parents, because having right-handed as a parent with like 3-star stamina to pass on to someone else is pretty good, right? Especially if it comes from a convenient card. Vice versa, if it comes from a card I'm not happy about, I might rank it a little bit lower. You know, this entire tier list is just going to be my opinion and how I was feeling today, and I woke up pissed. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and do that. So we will start with right-handed. This is on a good note because right-handed is one of my favorite skills. It is used on a lot of tracks. Lots of tracks turn right. I like going right. It's something that I'm okay with. And it comes from Fine Motion. Fine Motion is a very busted card. I feel like it's not being used enough in Global. I feel like people will slowly warm up to it because it gives you a ton of energy during your campaign, and it's very flexible. Also, it gives you some extra wit so you can be more consistent. I think Fine Motion will see some use slowly but surely, especially when people get more copies of it. Right now, I'm just doomed to borrow this card from somebody else who wailed out on it, so that's what I'm doing. But no, I like right-handed. It doesn't really betray you. You know, 40 speed on the good majority of the tracks. Hey, I'm happy with it. So, you know, we'll put right-handed at like an S tier, like one of the best skills. Honestly, it's not based off season. The track is either right-handed or left-handed. A good majority of the time, it's right-handed. It's one of my favorite skills. I'm going to put it up to S tier. Vice versa, I hate left-handed. Left-handed is like the evil right-handed. Literally. And it comes from Silent Susuka. And here's the thing. Like, it comes from Silent Susuka as an event. It's not even a hint. So, like, if you get Fast Learner, it doesn't make the hint pop up more. Now, some people are probably okay with this because like events technically should happen more often during your campaign as opposed to fishing for skills. But sometimes you just don't see it. And when you don't see it, you use the Silent Susuka card, which is like good enough to be used as a speed card, but not good enough to be best in slot. So it's like, I'm like destined to use this on my ace run, right? And I know I'm gonna get lower speed because of it, because it's not the best, but it's not the worst. It's just really awkward, right? It's just really awkward. So if you use it, you might get left-handed. And even then, like left-handed is used in a lot of Tokyo tracks. I'm not sure how often it's used outside of that. So, you know, it's still a left-handed versus right-handed type of deal. There's still a lot of tracks that turn left. I'll put it at like A. I'm not happy about it because I hate farming for it. I was kind of traumatized trying to get this skill when I was making my Narita for Taurus Cup. But we'll put it as a very upset A rank. Not as good as right-handed because right-handed comes from Fine Motion, but left-handed, it's pretty solid. And then we get down to the seasonal ones. A lot of these are going to be pretty equal, probably in the same tier. However, let's see where each of them come from. What's Spring Runner? Spring Runner comes from McQueen, not just the SSR McQueen. No, the SSR McQueen doesn't get Spring Runner. Only this rare card does. But to tell you, honestly, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's still a stamina card, and I can still hit either 600 stamina or like 1100 stamina if I'm lucky when I do my parent runs. So like, sure, it's not too bad. It has a good majority of stamina skills as well, especially for the Gemini Cup coming up. So yeah, I don't mind Spring Runner. I don't mind it. I'm gonna put Spring Runner in A tier, right with left-handed. Yeah, Spring Runner is okay with me. Summer Runner, boy, who actually does a race during summer? Well, you got like Bak Sheen. Yeah, Bak Sheen, man, like when it's still speed and it doesn't even come from a decent card. It's a hint. Like again, 40 speed. Of course, it's nice. But man, like this skill is kind of stinky. Summer is just not a good season. I mean, I love summer in real life, but just not something I'm a fan of. You know, it's still RNG if you get it in like team trials and stuff. I get that, but it doesn't even come from a good card. I'm gonna put Summer Runner, right? I'm gonna put it at like I'll put it at an A minus, like right below Spring Runner. We'll do that. Fall Runner. Let's see. This Fall Runner comes from Fine Motion as well. Well, you know, kind of like right-handed. I gotta put Fall Runner at like A plus, like a little bit above Spring Runner, but it's also not right-handed. No, we'll put it in S. I like Fall Runner. Again, it comes from Fine Motion. That's a consistent card that people will be using. Winter Runner, ooh, I don't know. I don't know enough about Winter Runner besides the fact, again, just 40 speed is nice, but the card's not bad. This card, I'm pretty sure it gives you no stopping me. So there's a few people that might want to use this card. It's not bad for a parent run. Also has Nakayami Race Course, Steadfast. Like, the odds of getting Winter Runner from her hints, because the lower amount of hints you have, the higher odds you have of getting it. Unlike Gold Chip that has like 11 skills. It has medium corners. Like it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It comes paired with Nakayama Race Course. I mean, No Stopping Me can be used on a lot of characters. It's inconsistent, but it can be used as a late searcher. I like Winter Runner. I like Winter Runner. I'll put it right next to Spring Runner there. I would do that. So we'll put Spring Runner A tier, Summer A minus, Fall Runner S, Winter Runner A tier. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. And now we're gonna get into the weird ones. The weird ones that are kind of based off luck. So you have Outer Post Proficiency. This will activate if you're in brackets 6 to 8. So that's 3 of them, right? And this is a little bit weird. If there's like more than like 9 brackets or something, like the odds technically are the same, but they activate in different brackets. It's kind of wonky. It's like a 30% chance of activating, right? It's fine. It's fine. It can be used. You can get lucky. It is on Fine Motion, right? Which is why Fine Motion is such a busted card. It's also on freaking King Halo. King Halo is a pretty decent card. So it's got good cards, right? It's got good cards. It's done nothing wrong besides be unlucky, but it's also not something that's guaranteed, and that's the best thing about skills, about green skills. And a 30% chance of working, man, I'm not a fan. Like, if my yellow skill activates 70% of the time at 300 wit, but you're telling me that this green skill only works 30% of the time, boy, it's just not that good. The only thing that's great about this thing is that it's basically speed that other people can't get in PvP. Because if you're in this bracket, let's say that they were running the same thing, and you know, you got lucky and they didn't, you have speed that they cannot get here, right? But I don't really think that's going to make enough for like a tiebreaker situation, especially with all the RNG you have. I'm going to put Outer Post Proficiency at like C. Like C. Like, it has good cards with it. It's fine. It's a nice bonus. It's a nice treat. But it's not guaranteed. And 30% chance of actually working. It's like, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Tell you what I am a fan of, though, and people don't talk about this one a lot. Maverick. Now, Maverick is pretty funny because it's such a Chad move, right? I feel like Maverick right now is probably used on maybe front runners, especially for the Tars Cup right now. It really depends. If there is a position that you know people don't want to use right now. Maverick is your go-to free 60 speed. I've had a situation where no one ran a pace chaser in scrims. No one ran a pace chaser, and this Origiri ran Maverick, right? Because the thing about that is that, like, if you're a pace chaser on the Towers Cup, you can actually get unlucky, because if you're not in third place, you can't activate your skills and yada, yada, yada. I won't get too into it. But basically, being in first place was like losing. Really weird. So he said, okay, if I'm going to be the only pace chaser and I'm going to get screwed over by being in first place, even though it's technically not the worst thing ever, he picked Maverick, and it actually worked out for him. So I just thought that was kind of funny. Now, is it the most consistent thing ever? No. Can it be used as a cute trick if you're using something that's unpopular? Absolutely. But the odds that it's actually going to work, I mean, it's not high. It's not high. It's almost like outer post proficiency, basically, but it is a Chad move, right? It's outer post proficiency, but it's cool. It's cooler. You didn't get lucky. You were the one that picked the position no one else did. But I'm still going to give it like a C tier, right? I can't exactly say it's that good. But it is funny. It is very funny when it works. Long shot here. Now, long shot, I do like. Long shot, I actually like a lot. Fourth favorite or below, this has a lot of things to do with like your stats and what skills you have. But honestly, in like champions meet, being fourth favorite or below isn't that hard to do. It's not really that hard. And let's say that like equally, like everyone has the same chance of being like the favorite to win or whatever. Being fourth favorite, that's like, you know, basically almost half of the lobby. You know what I mean? Fourth favorite or below. Those are pretty good odds. You know, you have 9 racers. You're telling me as long as you're just not in the top 3 winners, you get an extra 40 or 60 speed depending on what you want to do. I can't argue with that, right? And it's also like a good underdog skill, because if there are other people that have better stats than you, at least 3 other horses that have better stats than you, and you pick Longshot, well, there you go. You kind of just equalized it, right? Way more consistent than outer post proficiency and Maverick, for sure. I would say that, you know, depending on where you are at in your account or who you're going against, this can vary in mileage, but no, I like it. So I'm going to put Longshot at like B tier, like above Maverick and outer post proficiency, but I'll put it at B tier, simply because it's a good underdog skill and it has a higher chance of working. And then we get into sympathy. I'm gonna be honest, it's just F tier. Complete garbage skill on garbage cards. Just kind of the worst green skill you can get. You know, I thought it would have been cute if all 3 of your horses ran sympathy. You just can't run all 3 horses with sympathy. I wish you could. If I'm wrong, let me know. That would have made it really good, but unfortunately, it just does not line up that way. If it did, everybody would use it. So I'm kind of glad it's not. It's just not that good, and it would hardly ever work. Speaking of hardly ever working, Lone Wolf. Now, Lone Wolf is a defensive skill. It is a defensive skill, and the reason why it's such a defensive skill is because, look, man, let's be honest. No one would be getting Lone Wolf as often as they did if they didn't use the Narita card or Sweet Toast Show. And the thing is that those are really good speed cards. They're SR cards. A lot of people have access to them. A lot of people have access to Lone Wolf. And when a lot of people have access to Lone Wolf, who do you think is actually going to use it? No one. I would say that throughout all my runs, I have activated Lone Wolf probably like a made up number here, like 20% of the time. It does not activate it, but vice versa. Why do you take it? You take it so no one else gets it, right? It is the Lone Wolf tax. And that's the unfortunate part. Is like, do you want to spend 80 skill points to make sure someone else doesn't get Lone Wolf? Or would you rather use those 80 skill points to give yourself something else that would give you an edge? So this is what I think. Let's say that you have like 90 or maybe like 100 skill points, and you can take like an extra point of like long corners to like double circle it, or take Lone Wolf. In that situation, I would probably take the double circle, because at least I know that works for yourself, trying to pick Lone Wolf just to stop one person from getting it sounds cool on paper, but if you have the option to give yourself something else that's guaranteed, well, not guaranteed, it's still a skill, I rather do that, because the thing is, Lone Wolf is helping out another player. There are 3 players in Champions Meet. There are 3 players. You canceling out Lone Wolf just means that you probably just help the other guy out. By you picking your own skill instead, you're only helping yourself out. And maybe you might get Lone Wolf every once in a while. But man, it hardly ever happens. If you can pick a different skill for yourself over Lone Wolf, I would. But for that, man, Lone Wolf, it's so cool, right? And I know people are gonna like hate me for this, but like I gotta put Lone Wolf in like D tier. Like D tier, it's not as good as people make it out to be. It just looks good on paper. It's something that you get pretty often through your campaign, but it's not something you'll ever get to use, and you're just paying the tax for it when you could get yourself something else. So like, if I'm in a run and someone gets Lone Wolf, man, I don't care. I don't care if that person gets Lone Wolf. That's only one person that gets it. It's only one Uma that gets it, by the way. Like, you can't just run Lone Wolf on all 3 of your Umas and all of them get it if no one has it. It's only one Uma gets it. Like, I would probably get outer post proficiency more than Lone Wolf would activate. You know what I mean? A 30% chance of activating over whatever Lone Wolf minigames we're doing here. It's just not that great. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about Lone Wolf. It's just okay. All right, let's get down to the race courses. Now their stamina is very good, especially the longer the races. So I like stamina. Tokyo race course comes from Vaka. Vaka also has like Breath of Fresh Air. She has Bofa, pretty good skill. You can also get that skill for free during the campaign if you get lucky. I like Tokyo race course. I like the Vaka skill. Don't really appreciate that it's on special week, but I mean, special week can still be a parent for it, right? So, Tokyo race course did nothing wrong. I would put it with like the other season skills, like A rank. A rank's fine. Nakayama race course, I would probably put it like an A+, because this came with I think so. No, this was on this card. That's right. It came with the Yukino Beach, and so you know what? I'll just put Nakayama at race course at A rank too. I'll put it at A rank. It's not on the best cards. But I mean, like, here's the other thing, right? When it comes to race courses and stuff, and I didn't mention this earlier in the video, someone probably already like typed a comment like, streamer, don't you know, you can still get these from the racetracks, which is great. It's still RNG, just like how getting these off the cards are RNG, but the thing is, you have control over what cards you use. So in a sense, you still have some control, and you still have some control over what tracks you race on. But even then, like, if you race on enough Tokyo race courses, will you get Tokyo race course? Maybe. You might. I don't consistently get it, though. But regardless, it's okay. So Nakayama race course, A rank. Tokyo race course, A rank. Sure. Hashin race course. What's this from? Jeez, dude, I never see these cards. Well, I do see it on Marvelous Sunday, though. That's a card people use, and that's a really good parent card too, because this has like Tail Held High as well on top of it, and Ramp Up, which isn't bad, and it's an event. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Hashin race course can be A rank as well. We'll put that at A rank. Kyoto race course. This is for the Gemini Cup coming up. It's on a free card that also gives you cooldown, right? It has a chance of getting you cooldown, which is pretty decent. Can't complain about it. The only thing I complain about is the fact that there's so many skills on this card that you'll rarely ever get Kyoto race course. There's still a chance. That you'll get it, but there's just so much that you might not. So again, it's still stamina. It's still an A rank in my book. You know what? We'll go ahead and we'll fast forward all this. Yeah, there's so many racetracks. There's so many racetracks. I will put all the tracks here at just A tier. We'll just sticky note that one. Standard distance and non-standard distance. Let's mix it up a bit, because I'm pretty sure these happen more often. These are like the right-handed versus left-handed situation. Standard distance, I'm going to put an S tier, right next to right-handed, because Little did you know that standard distance pops up a lot, just like how right-handed pops up a lot. So it's a very consistent thing that will happen. And also it's on a decent speed card, right? It's also on El Condo Pasa, which is fine. But this card, it's a speed card that people like to use. It's also for late surgers. So you can use this as a speed card just for more stats. And standard distance, you know, there's only 5 skills on here. You have a pretty good chance of getting it. So I like standard distance. I will put standard distance at S tier along with right-handed. Non-standard distance is like the left-handed. It comes from Mayo Top Gun, which is a decent support card. It comes from Mahana Cafe, also a decent support card. But man, you don't see it as often. You don't see it as often, so I'll put it in A+, right next to Suzuka's support card with the left-handed. So like standard distance to right-handed, non-standard distance to left-handed. It's good. It's on decent cards. It's fine. I know I said I would put all the racetracks at A rank, but I think Oi Racecourse gets one exception. I mean, like, Oi Racecourse, dude, like, it's only dirt. Flashbang, by the way, sorry. It's only dirt. And it's 1200, 1800, 6. It's... The distance is never that long for Oi Racecourse. So stamina is not too important. Chances are you already have the stamina you need because they're pretty short. If anything, more power is probably what you're going to want on those shorter distances. But we'll put Oi Racecourse at like... We'll like bump it down just a little bit. We'll put it at like B+. I don't even check all these other ones, but like for something that's exclusively dirt, where power is probably more important. Firm conditions. My goat. 40 power on firm conditions, and it happens pretty often. Hard to argue with this. I really like firm conditions. It's on a lot of cards. Chances are you have this, you get this naturally just by playing without even realizing it. Very good accessible skill. 40 power is very powerful. God, that's a bad joke. Anyway, no, firm conditions I will put up there in S tier with right-handed standard distance. It's pretty good, right? I like it a lot. Vice versa, the wet conditions is going to be that whole left-handed situation again. There are going to be tracks where it's going to be raining. It's going to be useful. It does happen. It does. So I'll put that with left-handed, non-standard distance and whatnot. It's just like just not as good, but still decent. Competitive spirit, I'ma be real. You're only gonna get this if you run your horse as a late surger. That's how I feel, because you need 5 people in your position to actually get this to work. Which if you have 5 people in your position, you have other problems to worry about, but late surgers and debuffers are pretty popular. So chances are, if you run into some nice natures or people who are running double debuffers, you can use competitive spirit. You can even use competitive spirit for your own debuffer, because you know it's going to be a popular position. The thing is that late surger gets hit by debuffs a lot. So it's like, you know, you're right next to the nice natures and you're going in for that 40 power. It's okay. It's all right. It's not bad, but boy, is it kind of stinky. I'll put it at C. We'll put competitive spirit at C tier. We'll do that. Down to guts now. Now, guts is a little bit interesting. So this is the thing about the sunny days and the cloudy days and everything whatnot. Okay, so the thing is that let's say that you took Tokyo Racecourse, right? Let's say that you took Tokyo Racecourse. 80 skill points, 40 stamina. Now, you could take Tokyo Racecourse again for the double circle to get 60 skill points. But it's like double the price. So it's like 60 skill points, 160 skill points and like for 60 stamina. In that case, I would actually take the guts. That's what I think. Like if you have an option for it. If I had like Tokyo Racecourse and it was sunny, trying to save my skill points, I would take 1 circle in Tokyo Racecourse because that's 40 stamina. And then instead of paying for just 20 more stamina, I would get 40 guts, right? Because 40 guts is going to help me out more than just 20 stamina for that steep cost. You know what I mean? Now, I would never double circle, right? I would never double circle these green skills, like ever. That's not what I would do. But still, they are a good alternative to double circling the stamina if that's what you want to do, or if you're trying to proc Groundwork, because Groundwork is a skill that will activate if you proc multiple ones of these at once at the start, which is pretty nice. So like double circles on these gut skills, not really worth it, but singles is fine. I'm just gonna put all the weather ones. We'll just put all the weather ones at B, like right below the stamina ones. Like they're a good single circle to make up for not double circling the stamina. It's fine. We'll put them all at B. Target in sight. Increased performance when the favorite is using the same strategy. You know what? If you're him, it's pretty good, right? I'm pretty sure target in sight works if you're the favorite to win. But boy, I mean, if you already have all the stats and skills you're looking for, is that 40 guts really something you want? Like, also, you spent 80 skill points for a chance at 40 guts for a chance, by the way. Let me keep that in mind. The other ones you were bringing because you knew that these would be the season you were looking for, or the weather conditions. Target in sight, you picked 40 guts as a chance. To get this. Like, it... Now I'm putting this down, like down below, like an F tier too. Like it's garbage. It's not very good, dude. It's not. What's the other one I put in F? Sympathy. I'm putting it right next to sympathy, man. Like if you get target insight and you're him, sure. But I'm gonna be honest, that 40 guts is not gonna do much for you. It's still like not guaranteed. So inner post proficiency. I think this is wisdom. It's okay. It comes on, it's only okay if you get it on this card, because this card is pretty dang good. I use this card a lot. Saren Sky is pretty decent. It's kind of likely to get this. It also comes with Long Shot, which is very phenomenal. I do like that. It's okay. 40 extra wisdom is not going to hurt, or wit. I know we call it wit in global. It's okay. But it's still like a chance, right? It's still like a 30% chance. So it's like, lower odds of it actually working. I think I would put it with like a little bit lower than outer post proficiency, because outer post at least gives you speed. This one just gives you wit. I would just put it like below that, probably like a D. Probably like D. It's all right as a treat if you really want it. The savvy skills also give you wit, but they also give you more vision. They give you more vision, which helps you maneuver better. They're also really good for team trials. So the thing about team trials is that you probably have seen a thing called good positioning. And that's when like you are at the front of your pack. Like if you're at the front of the pace chaser pack or the front of the enclosures pack, like you get more points for that if you care about team trials. The savvy skills almost guarantee that you're going to be able to get that because you will be in the front of your pack. It's pretty good, honestly. And there's a reason why these are a little bit more expensive. I can see why. Like they raise your wisdom up. That's great. But I think the field of vision is more important. That's just what I think. And it's not too hard to get these. And usually the thing I like about the savvy skills is that they're usually on a card that's going to help whatever horse you're training. Like for the Silent Susuka skill, if you're running a front runner and Silent Susuka has a bunch of front runner savvy skills already, I mean, you might as well take front runner savvy while you're at it. You know what I mean? Like they kind of just line up very well. They line up very well. They're always like in the right place, right? Pace Chaser savvy. This is actually a pretty good card. This is pretty good. Haitian Amazon's pretty decent. I think that also comes with Encloser. Late Searcher Savvy can be used for your debuffers as well. Especially this card. This card's good for debuffers. So that's going to increase their vision so they can debuff harder. I do like that. Encloser Savvy, that's on Haitian Amazon as well, which I use this card. It's not bad. I do like them. I would put them all probably like, we'll put them in A. Yeah, the extra field of vision does help out, especially since they also give you like those extra points in team trials. I do like all the savvy skills a lot. They're pretty good. Lucky 7. It still might not work. The thing about Lucky 7 is like, yeah, you have to be in bracket 7 for it to work. Sure. Did you know it also goes through a wisdom check? it goes through a wisdom check or a wit check. So you know how I said at the beginning of this video that green skills are great because like most of them activate without having to use your wit. So you're telling me that this skill, boy, will it give you 40 extra speed, stamina, and power. Boy, is that great. That's amazing. However, if you're in bracket 7, there is still a chance that you won't activate it. And that's kind of messed up. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of messed up that you can be in bracket 7 and still not get lucky 7. Like, that's really stinky. That's really stinky. When it works, it works. Or when it works, it might not still work. You know what I mean? Like, you're still in bracket 7, it might not work anyway. And then you have super lucky 7, which is, I'll put lucky 7 at like D. Like, if it works, it's fine. There's probably you would probably activate this more than Lone Wolf, I'm not gonna lie. But the thing is that it's also like more expensive. It's like 110. Man, if you run lucky 7 and you actually pull it off, you've earned it. So there you go. There is my honest thoughts of every green skill in this game. Some are winners, some are losers, most are winners. More of the story, use green skills, especially on your parents. 80 skill points, 40 speed. 80 skill points, 40 speed. Yeah. Anyway, let me know if this helped you out. Let me know what you think down below. Like, comment, subscribe, algorithm stuff. I appreciate you all. Have a great day and take care. Goodbye.